around here. It's a little foggy this morning. It's like we went from, 75, 80 degrees to now 53 and foggy in the morning. So, yesterday was a pretty decent day. It was a weird day because even though my ratings are good, I didn't get that many offers. So, it was a very strange day. But I did want to talk about something that happened to me that used to happen a lot more. But thankfully, some people at these restaurants are getting a little better at taking care of this stuff. But it still happens. So it's something I don't know if there's an official name for this, but it's basically, I would call it a ghost order. So what does that mean? So when I get an offer to pick up something, the screen is telling me that there is an order there, but the order at the restaurant isn't there. So let me explain what that means. That means that another driver picked it up, took the food, and then basically put the order back in the system because they didn't complete the cycle of the offer to put it out for delivery. They just completed it to the point where they get to the restaurant, pick up the stuff, and then they just take it and then they just put that order back in the system. So it's not a real order. That's why it's a ghost order, because when you get there, there's no order. And if the restaurant does not make them confirm the order, then basically the driver has all the advantage at that point. If the restaurant doesn't do their job to confirm that the driver is putting this order out for delivery, then the driver can just throw the order back in the system, just take the food and leave. So this happened to me yesterday. I was picking up an order and it was a $13 delivery, which is actually a pretty decent delivery for what this was for. And the food, it was a turkey grinder and it was a side of meatballs. So this thing would cost like $25 if you were to buy this as a customer. The driver, before, I would rather eat this than make the money. So they basically gave up the opportunity to make money on the delivery and just eat the food. And I get it. You know what? If you're desperate and you got to eat your food, I can understand why you do it. I don't do it because I would rather have the I don't want somebody else's food order. Why would I want that? It's not my order. Maybe I don't like a turkey grinder and meatballs. Maybe I'd actually like to take that $13 and buy my own stuff. Heaven forbid. And so not only did I lost out on the $13 because the order didn't exist, the other part of the double that went with it no longer was worth it. So I had to get rid of that because without the one, the other didn't make any sense to take. So I gave up both. But I think as a whole, ghost orders have gotten less and less. I don't understand why. I mean, I know that the people that are doing this, they're doing this because they're desperate, and they're hungry. But stealing somebody else's order, that isn't the answer. and these drivers will pick their opportunities. They will go to, they'll try to find something closer to what they like to eat. And so they might take an order from there and decide, okay, this is the order I want to steal. So they'll just go through the steps. And honestly, every company has this. I checked this out. I researched it. Every gig economy delivery company has this issue, whether it's DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats. Everybody has a little different mechanism of how they do this, but drivers will find a way to steal the food and then just put the order back in the system. I mean, it'd be the equivalent of, let's say, the equivalent way to put this is, let's say you got a bag from Wendy's. We'll just use them as an example. But the restaurant gives you an empty bag. There's no food in it. That's basically the same equivalent. Instead of not having an order, you wouldn't get any food. It's the same thing. It'd be like a ghost pickup. They're telling you, it's like, oh, well, somebody else got the food. So now you just get the empty bag. Congratulations. Just getting somebody else's order. It's like somebody else ordered this. Often. I mean, I do 125 to 150 deliveries a week. So this used to happen about 4 or 5 times throughout the day. Now, not so much. Now it only happens maybe like once every couple of weeks. And this is actually the first time that this has happened in a long time. About, making sure that these drivers are putting these things out for delivery. Because the cycle is, if you don't know, it's we get an offer, we go there, we click that we're at the restaurant, we pick up the food from the restaurant. They want us to confirm or whatever, make sure that we're actually physically that exactly what we're doing. So if if you're deciding to steal, I have mixed feel. I have mixed feel because I get it. I get if you're hungry. We're all hungry. Every day we're all hungry. But I would rather have the money and buy my own stuff. I don't want to steal somebody's stuff. I don't want somebody else's order because it doesn't make any sense to me. Because maybe I don't like the order. I mean, what am I going to do? These order and just, I bought my own food, at least I would have the opportunity to get something that I actually want to eat instead of some other customer ordered. So, but the thing doesn't happen very often anymore. And is that customers, they don't know what's going on in sense of this. So probably and I'm guessing because I'm into this, customers are probably seeing, okay, we had great. So what happens when this guy steals the order is that the customer doesn't know that it's stolen. All they know is that the driver is no longer assigned to the order. So another driver is going to be assigned to the order. Great. That driver's going to go pick it up. Well, when the driver can't pick it up because the driver's stuff, now, the second driver basically has to put in that it was already picked up to let, the company know that it's already been picked up already. What does this mean for the customer? The customer finds out that Well, and they don't really find out the order's been taken until after probably the second delivery driver puts it out that this isn't a real order. Excuse me. Kind of left. They don't know what's going on. So customers don't really know until about 15 minutes after two drivers have gone through the order. The order ends up having to be remade at, I believe, DoorDash's expense or Uber Eats, and they have to have the order remade.